So the first time I was rough. I said, get him out of here. Get him out now. Take him out. Okay. I got killed in the press. I said the next day, I had another one, a protester, and I said, very gentle, please, don't hurt him. Don't touch him. Next day they said, something happened to Trump. He's getting weak. And to me, that was much worse than the first day. I'd rather be too strong than too weak, okay?
For Donald Trump, being a so-called strong leader is at the core of his political philosophy, and the way he fires up his rallies, or justifies them when they get violent, is a reflection of how he runs his campaign and how he defines what strength is. Don't back down or show weakness. Take out political enemies with withering attacks.
Well, I'm the only one on the stage that's hired people. You haven't hired anybody.
Or personal insults.
Lie and Ted. Oh, I know. You're a tough guy, Jeb.
His policy statements tend to be built on this show of force.
We should go for waterboarding, and we should go tougher than waterboarding. The Trump doctrine is very simple, Jake. It's strength. It's strength.
To fortify his positions, he often depicts the world as us versus them. It's a point of view that has attracted many fervent supporters and many detractors. It's his supporters against the protesters.
Ready? Are you ready? Get them out of here!
Just like it's us versus Mexico.
And who's going to pay for the wall? Who?
It's us versus Muslims.
There is an unbelievable hatred of us.
And us versus China.
We're going to lose $505 billion with China.
To win the battle of us versus them, he often calls for taking aggressive stances.
I said, the wall just got 10 feet higher. That's right. The 45% tax is a threat. It was not a tax, it was a threat. It will be a tax if they don't behave.
In his own book, The Art of the Deal, he wrote, "When people treat me badly or unfairly and try to take advantage of me, my general attitude all my life has been to fight back very hard." This appreciation of hitting back hard seems to extend to autocratic regimes as well.
I think Putin's been a very strong leader for Russia.
He said the Chinese government put down the Tiananmen Square protests, quote, with strength. That shows you the power of strength.
They kept down the riot. It was a horrible thing. It doesn't mean at all I was endorsing it.
The world would be better off with Saddam Hussein
100%.
and Gaddafi in power.
100%.
But his positions of strength can waver, and he often issues basic and blunt denials when confronted with inconvenient truths.
Universal health care.
I am going to take care of everybody.
Well, who pays for it?
The government's going to pay for it, but we're going to save so much money on the other side.
Donald, true or false, you've said the government should pay for everyone's health care.
That's false.
Just as he denies any involvement in creating the violent tone at his rallies,
I don't take responsibility. Nobody's been hurt at our rallies.
he tells a different story at the rallies themselves.
Knock the crap out of them, would you? I promise you, I will pay for the legal fees. I promise. I promise.
He argues his strong approach will make him an effective president.
You know, it's one thing to be like a very, like a tough guy. We're all tough people. You got to be able to get along a little bit with people, right?
And has admitted that part of his approach will be toned down in the Oval Office.
I can be the most presidential person that you've ever seen.
And despite his us versus them positions, he promises he'll bring great unity to the country.
Some people say, oh, he's tough. I'm going to unify.
So is he a strongman or a dealmaker? A hardliner or a compromiser? As the candidate himself says.
I think there are two Donald Trumps. There's the public version. It's probably different, I think, than the personal Donald Trump.
Which one would go to Washington is still undetermined.